going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint.
Milton the Manimal.
We're back with another episode of The Watcher. This time, we're doing Fantastic Four Annual number 6.
Right. So this was kind of our spec.
Right.
Like we were talking about what could you spec on? What book should we be looking for? And this is one we've been talking about for a while.
Yeah, we've been talking about Annihilus. So obviously this is the first appearance of Annihilus and the birth of Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
So Manimal hits me up. He's like, hey man, I want to kind of get into some spec books. We're always talking on Annihilus is coming, whether it's going to be in the Avengers or if it's going to be for the FF universe. Right. So he's like, hey, what's a good price on some 9.0s? But then I remember what Dennis was always saying, like 4 comics, like, yeah, you might make a good amount of money, but there's always a bigger percentage of profit in the mid-grades.
Right. Like I think the 9.0s we saw were around $1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
The 7.0s were like starting to sell for $500. And even though it kills me to drop $500 on a book that last year was $200, or a lot of people got this book raw for like $50 years ago, it's like the stock market, man. I looked at $500 and I'm like, yo, a 7.0 of a big, huge MCU villain could definitely sell for $1,000 or more.
Right, and as soon as he shows up, and it could be in a lot of places, like Jem said, whether it's Avengers or FF, or if you go Nova. I mean, there's a lot of cosmic area, too, that Annihilus can pop up in. And with the lack of Thanos, we need a new big bad.
So let's talk about what we know about the next villain. So I've been doing a lot of Avengers 4 researching, right? Mm-hmm. So they mentioned there's a new cosmic threat in Avengers 4 that's going to happen. Okay. Do you know any of this?
No.
On the back of these leaked toys from the new Avengers toys that are going to come out, so they're speculating, who could the cosmic villain be? Is it going to be Galactus? And I don't know that they're going to do Galactus.
I've always felt like Galactus was less of a villain and more of like a natural disaster type situation.
Exactly. And the way that it was worded almost seemed like, I just imagine Annihilus. Annihilus, what we know is that this villain always wanted to attack Earth.
Right.
So now with half of the heroes gone, I can see Annihilus being like, now's my time.
Right. There's no other real big bads in the cosmic universe outside of like races. Like the only other people I'd think of would be like a Kree or the Skrull or something like that.
But do you think Skrulls would be the big bad in Avengers 4?
No.
Being that we know they're going to be in Captain Marvel?
Right, exactly. I think that's who the big bad is in that movie.
So we wanted to get in on this book. I think at $500 for a 7.0, and we both found 7.5s. We paid like $550 or something like that. 7.5s, I could see that book going for $1,000, $1,500 if Annihilus ends up having a big role. Even if he just shows up in this trailer, this Avengers 4 trailer is supposed to drop like any time now. Maybe even today. We're gonna drop this on Monday, December 3rd. So shit, you might see a trailer reaction after this. You never know. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, he's either gonna be in Avengers 4 or the end credit scene. Imagine like it zooms into like this weird looking outer space negative zone.
Right.
Shows Annihilus and he's pissed, and also you see the swarm come up from under him or whatever.
Yeah, I could see him like sitting on a rocky throne, and then like let's say, we all assume Thanos goes away at the end, and he acts like there's a power vacuum. Now it's time to move in, and the horde rises.
Exactly, and there's going to be a vacuum, and Galactus doesn't fill that vacuum.
No, and like I said, I've never felt him as a bad guy. He's just like...
He's just trying to get his grub
He's
on.
just a hurricane kind of that comes through.
But I do think Galactus is coming. I think it'll be more of a Fantastic Four thing.
Right.
And Annihilus could be more of a Fantastic Four thing. I do think that there's a chance that they use Annihilus and they make him a joke. Like, kind of like a Mandarin.
Or like a Howard the Duck.
Maybe not that jokey, but like think about how they do him in Annihilation at the end. He's like a kid, and then later on they have him sitting on the toilet and stuff. But keep in mind that also, so they also have a lot of theories on Avengers 4 that they're going to use the quantum zone as the negative zone.
Yeah, so emerging of that, then, you also have other villains, too, that can show up, too. You got Blastar, you got Annihilus. There's a lot of negative zone villains, and if they do merge them in the quantum zone, I guess that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
How do you keep breaking up all these zones, you know what I mean?
Right, negative zone. They already got the quantum zone. We already know that we already know there's other civilizations in the quantum zone. Right. And there's a lot of theories that the movie's going to be called Avengers Annihilation as well.
Yeah. So, here's the deal. Like you said, it's a good investment at $550. Even if this book if he never shows up, at the very least, you're going to be able to get your $550 back. That's not impossible.
Yeah, and then you know what's funny? So we were looking at other specs. We like Super Scroll.
Right.
We know scrolls are coming, but Fantastic Four 18, is that what it was?
Yeah, I believe so.
And this same grade is already like $1,000.
Yeah, it's a big one.
So I'm like, why is that book? This book is from 1968. The only thing about it is it's an annual issue.
Right.
But it's still Silver Age Fantastic Four key, has the first appearance of the character on the cover.
Right.
Maybe not his best look.
No, it kind of almost looks like a robot.
A little bit of a robot. But this was our spec. I think if you can get in on this book now, you got a good opportunity to make some money later on down the road. I think he's definitely a good big bad to use if it's for Avengers, if it's for Fantastic Four. I think we might see him sooner than later, though, man.
Man, I would love to see an Annihilation storyline.
Yeah. But not Avengers Annihilation.
No, not Avengers Annihilation. I want to see Annihilation storyline with the Richard
Nova,
Rider.
with Star-Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we both got off-white pages.
Yeah, we both really got the same book. Mine just had the newer label, and I scooped
Right.
up the one for like $15 left, even though it was his idea. But this is kind of cool. This is like a little experiment.
It was fun. Like when we were talking about it, I was like, "Yo, let's do it. It could be fun. We'll see what happens."
You know what's funny? So we're starting to do these spec videos. We put our money where our mouth is, and we jumped out there and grabbed something just off the strength.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that's about it. We have more Watcher videos coming, including another one of Manimal's books that he scooped up. And, yeah, I guess that's about it, man. Drop us a comment below. What do you think about Annihilus? Is that a good buy? Where do you think the best place to introduce him will be in the MCU? I think if we don't see him in 4, it's going to be at the post-credit scene, man.
I hope. I like you said, Fantastic Four, Avengers. I think if you're going to use him as a big bad, I'd rather see him in Avengers, and then you do FF some other villain.
Right. All right, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more daily content, including speculation on big key issues, along with a host of other content. That's it, man. Stay minty. Peace.